We're learning new details, new reporting about the apparent confession of the suspect Tyler Robinson in the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk last Wednesday on the campus of Utah Valley University. Conversations taking place on Discord as exclusive to the Washington Post as the 22-year-old in Charlie Kirk's killing appears to have confessed to friends about this online chat shortly before turning himself into law enforcement. This, according to the Washington Post exclusive, the suspect in Charlie Kirk's killing appears to have confessed to friends in a Discord chat shortly before turning himself into law enforcement, according to two people familiar with the chat and screenshots obtained by the Post. Let's be joined right now by the reporter that broke this news, Hannah Knowles from the Washington Post. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. And in that post, he apparently said, "Hey guys, I have some bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." What more can you tell us about this reporting?
Well, thanks for having me. So the suspect, Tyler Robinson, his account posted this message the evening after the shooting, and his friends in this Discord chat, this online server, they had actually sort of discussed the news of the shooting earlier after it happened, just sort of in a casual way, saying like, wow. And one of them even said that Charlie Kirk didn't deserve to go out that way. And Tyler doesn't weigh in initially, but then right before he turns himself into law enforcement, he does send that message sort of saying goodbye to his friends and thank them for everything.
And of course, the law enforcement, they did post that picture of what they believed was a person of interest that ultimately led to the suspect. Initially, this group of friends of kind of people on this Discord chat, they didn't believe that potentially could be Tyler, correct?
So that was actually a separate Discord community that Tyler was in. So clearly this is a person who has a large online footprint, which I think is why I'm really curious, what else is out there. But yeah, that was a separate server where Tyler, an account associated with Tyler, was joking with his friends about, yeah, man, that really looks like me.
Yeah, and I want to ask you, because you mentioned this, that he appeared to have confessed, the account linked to Tyler Robinson. Were there any previous comments leading up to the fatal shooting that authorities are looking into?
Not that I know of. I know authorities have said they're looking into a lot of things, and I would guess I know there are other messages that they are scrutinizing, but I'm not aware of others in this particular Discord community.
And of course, as we talk about this Discord, the online chat, so many young people are familiar with, who are these people in the chat that he was communicating with? It? Were they friends? Were they also college students? Can you glean any information from that?
All I can say is that these were friends of Tyler who were interacting with him online. It's on Discord, which is a platform that's often used by gamers. Beyond that, I can't get into the details, though.
And will police be potentially looking into that information, trying to contact these individuals? How does that work with an online platform like Discord?
So we do know that Discord, the platform, has turned over this confession message to law enforcement. And so I would assume it's part of their investigation.
Is there anything else in terms of this reporting? Because like you mentioned, the digital footprint is so very important in a lot of these kind of crimes, especially in 2025. What other questions do you have on your mind about the suspect, Tyler Robinson, and this impact that the online world had on him?
I think the big question right now is motive, and authorities have said they are still investigating, even as they have some evidence that this is a person who had criticized Kirk. And so, yeah, I think the big question is, are there other messages out there in this online trail that speak to the motive?
And you mentioned there were potentially 30 people involved in this. He was also involved in different groups. If someone isn't familiar with Discord, if they're not on that platform, they're not a gamer, kind of that sort of thing, how would you describe it to people?
It is sort of a bit like a social media platform, but it's sort of a closed group, often for you and your friends. So it's a bit more of like an intimate space, and there can be different sort of channels where you're communicating with your friends in that group.
And of course, you're talking about how you have looked through some of the details, obtaining some of these screenshots. This platform, Discord, obviously also relies on sometimes anonymity in terms of that. Can you speak to that at all? How clear are we that this was actually Tyler Robinson?
So we do feel confident based on our sources that this is very likely Tyler Robinson, and that is what a member of the group told us. That's what a person familiar with Discord's communications with law enforcement told us. So yeah, we have every indication at this point that it is.
Very good. Hannah, anything else that you'd like to add? This is obviously a very evolving story, very dynamic since it happened last Wednesday. Anything else that you can tell us?
I think, like everyone else, we're just waiting to see the charging documents. And I think a lot more is going to come out soon as authorities bring that case to court.
All right, very good. Hannah Knowles, thank you so much with the Washington Post. I appreciate you breaking it all down. Very interesting and complex story, but we appreciate you reporting here on Live Now.
Thanks so much.
All right, thank you so much.